This is Rod Kuznin, Spooman for Risk for Monday, August 1st, 2011, all times on the chart Central Standard Time. This video is for the benefit primarily of our traders who are using our new divergence indicator. This indicator is in the midst of being transferred over to a strategy, but in the meantime, some of you are asking questions about the meaning of these colored bars. So if I'm understanding your questions, you're referring to these cyan dots here, or for example, the red dots here, here, and here. Okay. Now, here's what they are, and then I'll describe to you what to do with them. Every time the volume bars cross the zero line, whether they're going up or they're going down, we consider that to be a cycle. So as the volume bars are dropping below the zero line here, we're entering into a new cycle. This is a down cycle. We're coming up above the zero line, we're now in a new up cycle. What we will do is we will compare the current cycle to the previous cycle. So for example, here was a down cycle, crossed below the zero line. Here's another down cycle, it crossed below the zero line. When that happens, what we're going to do is record anytime the Spoos hit a new low. During a cycle, anytime the Spoos hit a new low, we're going to put a little yellow dot on the volume bars. This pertains to the Spoos, only the Spoos. So anytime there's a yellow dot during the cycle, the Spoos are hitting a new low. So even if the volume is moving up, if there's a yellow dot, the Spoos are hitting a new low. Okay, so the Spoos hit a new low here. Then we had an up cycle and another down cycle. During this down cycle, if the Spoos hit another new low, we're now going to put a dot on the bars. If the volume if the Spoos are hitting a new low and the volume is hitting a higher low, we have a divergence. The volume that we were comparing this to occurs right here. This is where the Spoos have hit a new low. We record the volume at that time. Now the Spoos hit another new low. All right. We record the volume at that time. If the volume is greater, or in this case, let me rephrase that. If the reading of the volume here is less than the reading over here, we have a divergence. And we're going to put a cyan dot on the screen. We've saved this number. We've gone through another cycle, and we had another brief divergence right over here. Spoos move up. We're recording the high of the Spoos. We're recording the volume. If the Spoos move higher, but the volume is less, that's a divergence. We paint the bar with a red dot here. More red dots because we're moving higher, but the volume is tailing off. Okay? And so that's the significance of these red or cyan colored dots, it's showing us where divergence is taking place according to the rules that I just gave you. Now, from the standpoint of trading, just because there is a divergence doesn't necessarily mean we would want to take a trade there. So if we were to use as an additional trigger a z-score, there'd be a simple approach to take. If we use the zero line on the z-score as a trigger, we could say, if I've got a cyan colored bar here, followed by z-score moving above the zero line, and I'm close to the entry price here, I may want to take a long trade. So here's your divergence. Z-score is still below zero. On this 300 tick bar, it moves above zero. We're fairly close to the entry point. We may want to take a long trade there. Now, this is very discretionary trading. There's no specific strategy attached to this. These are just general rules. All right. Our strategy gets far more sophisticated than what we're describing here. But here's another case. Long trade, all right. Z-score moves above the zero line here, and a long trade could take place there. That's one way to do it. Now here's the cyan colored bars here again. Z-score drops. Z-score on the 300 tick moves above the zero line. Another long trade there. Let's look at the short trade side. Divergence, Z-score, not really moving below the zero line. It finally does over here, and market drops off just a little bit. Another divergence on the short side here. Z-score drops below, but we've already moved down quite a bit, as you can see. You know, if the high here takes place at 83.50, we're not getting confirmation until we're close to 81. That's a fairly significant drop in our book, so may not want to take that trade. Here we've got a divergence, and we could look at a short trade right in here, another short trade right in there. That works pretty well. So that's how you use this. All right. Now, if I'm not answering your questions, pick up the phone and call me, because I'm not understanding what you traders are looking at. And I think because this is the only cyan or red-colored dots that we have to work with, we don't have them anywhere else but this. So I'm presuming I'm answering your question. But by all means, if I'm not, pick up the phone, give me a call, and help me understand what it is your question is addressing. So that's our quick video today on divergence.